Yo, what's good, guys? No Life in Your Hair. I'm coming at you with a pretty random video. But this video is going to be a pretty short video. But I wanted to just make as I said, a pretty short video about how the current, like the actual state of Mythic Plus pugging, TLDR, it is one hell of a experience. You will not forget it, not in a good way. And as I said, as I say, I really try and stay positive and whatnot. And this isn't me, like, I don't think being like negative. I'm stating my opinion. Um, you know, um, long story short, um, I have met 3,600 IO people, 37, 36, 300, 38, holy, 36, 37, 3,500 IO people that have no game awareness of what the fuck's going on around them. Tank, DPS, healer, anything, whatever, right? And it's not okay. It's not right. Like when you're trying to push, like I am, for example, whether your goal is, 3K, 3,500, even title, pugging to title is, in my opinion, just flat out impossible. Because of the way, as I'm about to describe, because of the way pugs are, it's, it's fucking impossible. Um, which I guess in a way, in a sense that kind of makes sense, because title is the top 0.1% in your region and whatnot. So I guess it does make sense, but at the same time, I don't feel like it should be flat out impossible because of pugs, and specifically because of pugs. Um, but yeah, so long story short, my experience pushing and trying to get 3,500 for the season has been a living hell, a miserable time, a absolutely miserable time. I'm sure a lot of other people can agree with me on this video, because I visually have seen, the frustration of other people in keys, whether it's a tank, whether it's a healer, whether it's another, DPS, another DPS, right? It's, I right, like prime examples. Okay, I was in a 16 gambit around, I would say, 3 weeks ago, and real quick, I've timed. There have been groups where I've timed 5 17s. These five right here, the only 17s I have, obviously, in one day. In one day, and with all separate pug groups. I have done this journey completely solo. No guildies, no friends. I have done this 100% completely solo. Okay. Okay. I've done this all in one day. As I said, one day, 5 separate groups. Ever since I've timed either my 17 priory, holy shit, my 17 eco dome or halls, ever since I've timed either one of those, okay, I have been yet to time another key in a month and a half. And I have been on almost every day trying to time at least one key, at least. But I feel like I have a fucking curse on me, dude. I feel like I have an in-game curse on me from Blizz saying, no, you can't time any keys. Like, and you think I'm being dramatic until you experience this for yourself, and then you realize, oh, he's probably not being dramatic, right? But I forgot the word. I guess for like a context. But yeah, I was in a 16 gambit around, I think, like 2-ish, 3 weeks ago, most likely 3-ish weeks ago. Okay, and there was this demon hunter. We have a few deaths. It is what it is. We are 100 based on, because we had big DPS. We were 100% gonna time this key, right? And long story short, the demon hunter dies, I die. Okay, it's okay, cool, whatever. Long story short, we I get B res, he gets B res, that kind of deal, right? Cool. It is what it is. Okay. And after that happens, the demon hunter dies again and again and again, and each death, of course, 12 and above, 15 seconds, It takes away 15 seconds every time you die in a 12 or higher. Okay, well, he dies maybe, I really wish I had this like as a clip for you guys, but he dies, maybe 4-ish, 5 times. And what happens, long story short, is he dies. We have no more B-reses, of course. And Tank says GG's, and he dies on purpose. Right? Because at that point we had 3 minutes, and we haven't even we've started the boss. The boss in Gambit, the final boss, you have to kill the boss to 40%. Then she pretty much heals herself to 100% health, and you can't do without hero. Like that's not happening. Okay, right? Even with hero, there's like near impossible. Okay, right? And okay, in the tank's point of view, honestly, makes sense. If I was a tank, I'd be pissed at the DH2, right? It's what the Demon Hunter said, and keep in mind, we are in a 16 Gambit. He's, ironically, he's somehow, I think he was, he was very, very close to 3.5. Very, very close. Like 35, like 3480, very, very close, okay? Here's what he says. Wait, I'm going to put that in a new tab, just in case of YouTube, just in case of, whatever YouTube wants to say. But anyway, okay? 16 Gambit, after we all release, the Demon Hunter, word for word, says I shouldn't have to use my defensives to help me help you, pretty much for me to help him stay alive. Right? He shouldn't have to use Blur, Netherwalk, or Darkness, any of those. Health pot, whatever the fuck, whatever you want to use, right? He shouldn't have to use any of those to help himself stay alive and to help me help him stay alive. He shouldn't have to use any of those, apparently. Which is the lowest. That is the. I was so shocked and so flabbergasted at what the fuck I just read. I physically had to sit back. I read it, right? And then I /reloaded in game to make sure that is what I read. And I reloaded. That is 100% what I read. I have never been more shocked in my entire life. And I could go on and on about this, but as I said, this video is going to be a short one, and that is one of the prime examples of people not having any fucking game sense in any way at all. In any way. Anyway. Another great example, okay, and I'm going to pull up the route for this, right? In Priory, okay, very, very standard pull. You pull these 4. You can skip these, with Demon Hunter, Sigil of Misery, whatever you want to use, okay? In this specific example, we skip these 4 with the SOM, Sigil of Misery, okay? Skip these 4, very fair, easy, okay? We pull this, and this, okay? And then after a tiny bit, these 3 groups die, so we pull this in, very, very standard stuff, okay? Right? Very, very standard, okay? And very easy as well, normally. Okay, when you actually do what the fuck you're supposed to do. Well, in this group, we had an H-Pal, a Holy Paladin, okay? Okay. And this was a 17 Brazil, so I was more pissed, because if I got a 17 or even, especially an 18 Priory, this would 100% guarantee me 3,500, okay? Well, we tried this 4 or 5 times, but either way, every single fucking time, this Holy Pally, this healer, was the first to die every single time. He wasn't doing anything he was supposed to. He wasn't LOSing the thunderclap, and of course, a badly timed thunderclap and shoot, you're dead. It's over. We're in a 17. If those two hit you at the same time with no time, you're dead. It's over. You're dead. Unless maybe if you pop bop, it wouldn't protect you from the thunderclap, but it would protect you from getting shot, because shoot is physical damage. And if you don't believe me, here, sharpshooter. Open info, shoot, physical damage. Literally all of their fucking things are physical damage. You can say, oh, it's bleed damage. Yeah. Bleed for blank physical damage. Just saying. Okay. But you obviously understand why I'm pissed. This guy was a 3600 IO HPAL who's timed an 8. I'm pretty sure he timed like an 18 Dawnbreaker and like another 18 of some sort. And we go into Priory, very, very standard pull, very normal pull. If everybody does what the fuck they're supposed to do. But if you stand here looking like a goofy goober, you're more likely than not, you're gonna die. Because this guy does thunderclap, we're getting shot at by these fuckers, right? Not only that, the footmen is more or less the sharpshooters, okay, right? But yeah, Another great example is I was in an 18 City of Echoes, and our tank, let me see if I can, very, very standard pull. We pull all this, we go to the mini boss, very standard pull. As per usual, right? It looks kind of confusing because it's like, oh, he's off the map. No, he's obviously hanging there because he's a giant fucking spider. Of course, the mini boss is right here. Okay, we did, lust, big pull, all this shit, everything, right? And this is a very, very easy pack to do. Very simple. There are two. Actually, no. In some, it depends on their group. I've seen DH imprison this or this one, or tank handles the shriek on this one, and us primarily DPS. But I, as a healer, if somehow our 3 DPS can't handle one fucking kick, I can also kick the web bolt. Not in midnight, but right now, obviously. And there wasn't a single kick going off. Our hunter was the only, because our hunter was the one that had the key, and he was the only one kicking. We're in an 18 Arakara. We're 2 levels away from being in fucking title range keys, and I know all 20s isn't title, but you obviously get what I'm saying. We're in an 18 Dawnbreaker, and DPS, and on top of that, the tank don't have enough game awareness and fucking competence to realize that, hey, tank, right, standing in the webs, he popped the little web eggs that are like, if you could see it in game, it'd be way easier, but he's hanging here, the webs are like, right here, or like right, it's very hard to show on here, but either way, right, there's webs, behind the mini boss. Okay, I'm trying to, right behind the mini boss, this, right here, pretty much. He pops him, okay, and he gets stunned for 5 seconds. Either way, rooted. Either way, stunned or rooted. Either way, it's more damage I have to heal through for no reason. So I'm dispelling him. I'm dispelling poison. I'm dispelling a lot already. Very first pull, right? And you normally hero this pull, of course, right? There's a lot of shit going on, and there's no kicks going out. So when there's no kick, there's a kick on horrifying shrill or shriek or whatever, but there's no kick on web bolt, on this guy's web bolt. There's no kicks happening, and we're in a 18 Arakara. The fact of the matter is that people obviously should be able to A, understand, and B, know, when, where, all that shit. No, add-on lists, game or not, people should very clearly be able to understand that, hey, I need to kick the giant fucking spider that's about to kill our healer because shit's going down, right? Because if I'm out of CDs, if I'm out of externals, if I have no bark skin, if I have no defensive, I have no healing trinket, I have no convoker trank. GG's pretty much. If I get 2 web bolts on me, there's nothing. Even with bark skin, there's nothing I can do. Maybe with bark skin, bear form, and frenzied region, maybe, but that's a huge maybe, huge maybe. And keep in mind, I have 32% versatility. Keep that in mind. Okay, I have a a fuck ton of versatility. Okay, and even then, still even then, right? But yeah, and as I said, I'm not trying to be like negative. I'm simply, as I said, I'm stating my opinion. I'm stating what I've seen. I'm annoyed. Obviously, I'm not. I don't think I'm mad or whatever. Right? As I said, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm stating what I've seen. And it's obviously, of course, anybody would be very fucking annoyed of what they're seeing, what people, like how people, we're in 18s, right? And people just, they just have they barely know how their class works. Barely, if that, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's almost scary to me. But yeah. So, and as I said, pretty pretty random video, but I feel like this needs to be said. I feel like, and I'm sure, I mean, I've seen in WoW a lot of people agree that the pugging is an absolute nightmare. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments. But yeah, no, that's really it though, guys. I wanted to record this non-edited, just pure video right up to YouTube. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That is the Mythic Plus experience I've had so far in Season 3 of The War Within. Hopefully it changes at midnight. Yeah, no, that's that's really it. And that's also one of the biggest reasons why I haven't been streaming on Twitch and whatnot, is because of these experiences, right? Where I really don't think that people want to watch me get in, if even get into keys and whatnot, and then 3 minutes into a key, not even, the entire group wipes twice because nobody knows what to kick or how to kick, anything like that. And then I'm back doing this. I'm back. Hold on. Back doing this, watching YouTube in the background for like 3 hours. That's not very entertaining, obviously. But yeah, just TLDR why I haven't been streaming as much. But yeah, as I said, that is the video. I hope you guys. I would say I hope you guys do enjoy this content. But as I said, I really hate being negative. I really do. It's life is already hard enough, but at the same time, I feel like this needed to be said. And also real quick, if you are having a great experience, trying to push, 3,500, whatever your goal is, 36, 37, whatever your goal is, right? If you're having a great time, that's great. I'm happy for you. That's great. On my end, however, I am not having a great time. As I said, one hell of an experience. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, man. Have a great day, man. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.